So here we are. It's been 2 months on YouTube. Have we blown up? Not in the slightest. No overnight success, no silver button in the post. Just me hoping, praying, recording content, uploading and checking my analytics more than my flipping bank account. Because what have I gained? Let's look at it. I mean, really sure, I haven't gained any fame. I haven't had this automatic propulsion of success on YouTube straight away, but I genuinely feel like I've gained some skills along the way, and we're always growing and we're learning different things. So I'm here today to round up the first 2 months, the last 8 weeks that I've spent on YouTube, tell you a few lessons that I've learned and update you with everything that I know so far. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. You know, when we first start uploading on YouTube, we almost kind of expect that the first few videos that we're going to post are going to, automatically roll in views. I think we're very used to seeing, videos online ourselves of people explaining how to make the next best viral video, and then we're kind of like shocked in a sense when it doesn't happen, when we first upload our first few videos, and that was certainly the case for me. But what you come to realise is that that's not how it works. Going viral is not the norm. It doesn't happen to everyone. So in my first month or so, I was disheartened when a few of my videos that I posted initially didn't really get that many views. The harsh reality was that, the first one didn't get any. I sat there looking at it on my analytics for days and it didn't get any views whatsoever. I've recently completely deleted the YouTube Analytics app. That's a video that's coming up that I've got planned for either the next one or the one after, but I'd like to talk a little bit more in depth about that in that video. But I've deleted the YouTube Analytics app a while ago now, and I'm so glad that I did it. It is so easy in the early days to just keep looking at these videos, almost all the time and go, oh no, they haven't got any views. Oh, still no more views. Oh, still no more subscribers. And it really has a mental toll on you, And I think at some sort of a point, it's gonna separate the people that enter this game from the people that are here because they enjoy content creation and the people that are here to just try and make a quick buck. Sure, some people upload videos to YouTube and they get a lot of instant traction, they get a lot of success, and people can go viral. But I think this word viral, this whole narrative that we're gonna post a video up and it's just gonna explode, it's kind of pushed onto a lot of new creators, more so than I think is fair. And I think a lot of new creators, feel shocked when they realise that, it doesn't actually happen. And it's kind of a slap in the face. But this is how I've come to look at it, okay? I've had a handful of videos. Say, for instance, I've got one recently that I know that's had 70 views on it. Okay, sure, that might not look like a lot when you look at it on YouTube, but, try to imagine yourself standing on stage or in like an auditorium, and having 70 people in front of you listening to what you're saying, that's still a lot when you think about it. And I've tried to use this to, I'd say make myself feel better about what I'm doing, but just to remind yourself, it's not just a number, it is a person, someone that's wanted to, hear more of what you've got to say. And, that's valuable. You're helping people, and remind yourself of that all the time. Don't just say, oh, this next video's got less views than the one before it, so I can't be doing very well. Man, if you think like that, this YouTube journey, this process that you're going to embark on, especially if you're in your early stages, coming from someone who's 2 months in, you're not going to last. You're going to find it very, very hard. If you've turned up on YouTube to make a quick buck, to try to become famous, to try to replace a 9-to-5 job, you're not going to last. And I'll stand by that statement. The people that last in this game are the ones that enjoy doing it. Not just helping other people out, but being creative and having that creative expression through content creation like this. And alongside that, obviously offering value. If you don't love the process, if you don't remind yourself of why you're doing this initially, then it'll never work. You're gonna be 2, 3, 4 months in. You're gonna think, well, I haven't got all the subscribers they've got. I haven't got all the views that they've got. So what's the point? And if you're asking yourself that question, then yeah, sure, you probably should leave because you're not going to last. So do yourself a favour, save yourself the time, and move on to the next thing. I can remember when I first picked up a camera in my very first video, and I had the idea searing through my head that, thousands of people are going to be watching me behind this lens. All these people are going to be judging me and, criticising me. And It just simply was not the case. I would definitely say that to myself if I could, you know, rewind in time and give myself a few tips and tricks at the start. I'm not preaching to be a master right now at this point. All I'm kind of trying to do is, you know, create perhaps a little bit of a time capsule for me to look back on and, you know, kind of see how far I've come. But one thing I can honestly say that makes me really happy for where I am today, even though my growth has been minimal, but linear, but minimal, is that I'm getting better. I'm genuinely enjoying this more and more. And I like that. I like the creative process. Do you know how many times I've been out walking in the forest since having, you know, creating this content, since, you know, wanting to provide value and deciding to eventually pick up a camera? I think I've been out in the forest more times in perhaps the past month or two than I have in a very long time. So that's an added benefit. You know, I'm going to admit it as well. I've posted videos. You know, I've looked at the analytics a day after, or when I had the YouTube Studio app, shortly after, with the expectation that, you know, I'm going to see something exciting and new. You know, suddenly there's going to be loads of views or, you know, hundreds of subscribers come flocking to me. And it hasn't happened. But let's try and pull a positive from that, because it's reminded me that I really just enjoy this process. Okay, sure, all that stuff would be good. It would be great, but this is the magic of content creation. And I'm telling you now, if you're at the start of your journey, I'm going to do you a favor and save you a heck of a lot of time. If you're not willing to endure the process, you're not going to be able to find satisfaction out of this. We all take up these hobbies, these extra things that we do to fill a void. And unless you've got your heart set on this, and, you know, you've got your head around the fact that, you know, you're not going to be the next Mr. Beast or anything like that, then just don't bother. My processes in which how I'm creating my content is changing all the time. You know, the way you play around with thumbnails, the way you package your videos, it's all constantly changing for me. And I'm learning something. You know, every single video that I post is not propelling me forward in progress, but it's given me an example of a lesson that I can look back on and, you know, acknowledge some things that perhaps I'm doing wrong. And it's like this pillar for growth. It's this platform that I can then propel myself from and get better every single little time. Get it out of your head that you're going to go viral. Just honestly stop that. Enjoy this process. Enjoy being able to, you know, finally, you know, the fact that you've actually if you have picked up a camera and you've started recording, you know, well done, kudos to you. You know, I respect that, because that was a hurdle that I had to initially get, you know, kind of myself over and put myself in the correct headspace to do. So I know what that's like, and I know how tough that can be. So, you know, kind of just by doing that, enjoy this process. Enjoy creating content. Who knows, perhaps some of your content could land on someone's home screen and you could add so much value to them without you even realizing. You know, it could just be the one thing they needed to hear today to make them feel better. You could have helped someone relate. You could have helped someone overcome. And, you know, reminding yourself of this, I certainly do, is another motivating factor that's going to help you keep turning up. You have something to offer the world. You have something that you're passionate about. Like I said, this is a quick video that I wanted to do for myself as a bit of a time capsule, to kind of check back in later in, because I plan on staying around. I'm certainly not leaving this whole content creation thing anytime soon. I'm really enjoying it. I love hearing your feedback, and it's great listening to everything that anyone has to say. Don't feel discouraged by slow progress, okay? Just practice, just keep doing it. Get some stuff wrong, okay? You're gonna learn more. You're capable of so much more than you actually realize, that once you get into the swing of this and you start seeing some growth, remind yourself, every single small piece of growth matters. It's you getting one step closer to being where you want to be. Stop scrolling through your analytics frantically looking for some sort of a difference. Think of your next piece of content. Keep your mind focused on the next piece of content you're going to create and what you'd like to offer. And if you haven't already, check this video out right here, where I go into a little bit more depth about making the process of first stepping in front of the camera that little bit easier. Keep creating and keep enjoying it. I'll see you next time, guys.